Welcome back to Kansas City, Missouri. Today we have episode 4, The Pretend War. All right, what are your first impressions of The Pretend War?
I was very disappointed in this episode. I honestly think it's the weakest one by far. Once again, we're in a setup episode, but the problem is we basically already know everything, and we're just watching all of the characters in the show finally catch up to speed with us. That was just really frustrating. It felt almost like a filler episode. It's just really disappointing to me.
I'm in total agreement with you. As soon as it ended, okay, just a filler episode? Did it really have to be 58 minutes long?
It was just confusing to me. I'm like, the whole time when it first starts out, it's got kind of got that horror movie vibe to it. And I'm like, oh, okay, where are we going with this? And then it's just like, okay, we're gonna just keep retreading information we already know. We're gonna keep blue balling the audience here. Nothing's really gonna happen. We're just setting up more conflict that will eventually happen.
I was really confused by that opening scene. Is it a zombie? Is it a ghost? Is she dreaming? We learn later on that it's, I don't know, I'm guessing a Grim Reaper figure. But he shows up at the hotel room and the little Indian girl is still alive.
Right. Yeah. We see him come out of the tub because we were bringing up in a last episode, there's this like shadow monster or whatever. This is our kind of first time actually like really getting a more up close look at it.
He's not a freeze frame monster this time. They come right out and show you him.
Yeah, it's like you said, it has this. It's implied that there's kind of this Grim Reaper element to him. You said the Native American girl, she was laying in the bed, and it's kind of like a fake out, like, oh, is she dead? Is she shaking her? But no. Yeah, I'm wondering where they're going to go with this because we talked about with season 2 of the aliens. From my memory, it was a little more subtle, and the shadow monster thing was pretty subtle at the beginning of this season. Didn't even realize it in the second episode. I don't know. They're kind of getting overt with it. I don't know. I was a little thrown off. I don't know. How did you feel?
Definitely thrown off.
Yeah.
This episode definitely raised more questions for me than answers. Did Zelmare set up Thurman? I mean, really, all it would have taken to get rid of the vomit smell is just some soap.
Yeah, well, that's I don't think she set him up, but that is something that I wrote down. I was like, why didn't she just put like one drop of perfume or something on a stack of the money? You know what I mean?
Well, also, Chris Rock just gets ripped off. The Bonnie and Clyde characters know they ripped off Chris Rock. They know that the family owes Chris Rock the money. He's not going to just be like, oh, this white boy bringing me 20 grand. We square.
Right. Yeah, that's obviously with Fargo, you have a lot of characters that are very stupid. And that's kind of going back to the movie. William H. Macy just being a complete fucking moron. Thematically, it does tie in of people being really stupid, but I found myself just being frustrated because I'm like, you couldn't have waited and like slow. I know that there's an interest that he brought up, but it's like maybe piecemeal this out a little bit. His wife is like horrified. She's like, what have you done? And she just walks away. So she knows, okay, whatever he did, he fucked up. That definitely didn't work for me. And I think the dad's 100% going to die in this show. I think after that, I'm like, yeah, I think they're definitely going to kill him.
I thought that Chris Rock and his boys would come over right after, before the end of the episode. So I'm guessing that's where they're going to open up first. You know, they're going to bust in and interrogate the father.
Yeah, that would have been a good cliffhanger for the episode if they were like there was a knock on the door or something. We're just kicking in the door. That's the thing with this episode. When it ends, it's like, okay, I want to see more, but for the regular person, I don't feel like they're super incentivized to wait another week. I feel like you kind of feel like you're a little shortchanged.
Blue balls, as you said before. I have another question for you. Why did OCD Cop get Chubbs to lie for him? It would only really raise Timothy Oliphant's suspicions. Am I right?
To get him to lie for him. Uh,
Yeah, he said the lesbians said they were going to Chicago, which I don't really.
oh, yeah, right, yeah. The police office. Yeah, he just wants to get rid of him because he's on the take. He's dirty.
Yeah, but he's not like riding with him and stuff until it's obvious that the heavyset guy lied for him. He probably would have just hung around the office and not really taken an interest in OCD cop.
They're setting up a little conflict with them. At first, I thought when they were in the car, and it's like, oh, you want to step outside? We talked about.
Yeah.
I didn't think much of it. I thought, okay, they're going to be kind of like this buddy cop team. One's crooked, but now I definitely think that things are going to get violent between two.
We also learn more about Marshal Oliphant. He's not so squeaky clean. He essentially tells the Italians that they fucking lynched the Italians in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, he said we had a couple of Italian boys who came into the town, and so we got some noose and some horses, and we dragged them both.
Till their head popped off.
Yeah, 6-7 miles till their heads fell off. Yeah, that was like the one good line from the show where I was like, wow, okay, that was a great scene. But once again, not enough with Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah.
We don't.
Not even enough with the brother or Gaetano.
No, and I'm actually kind of turning on Gaetano. I'm starting to not like him anymore, actually.
Yeah, when they were in the office, I was expecting maybe not a gunfight, but at least some sort of a tussle, you know?
Yeah, because it's just like when I saw him try to kill Chris Rock's son, I was kind of like, oh, okay, now you're like stupid and like easily manipulated in a weird way. And then with this episode, we have at the very beginning, you see them, they're running guns, and they light this horrible looking CGI fire,
Oh my
which was
God.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
Again,
It was.
it raises even more questions. Okay, they couldn't drive reverse out of the fire or drive through it. Why were the black guys able to do so seconds later? How did the black guys, how did they get into the fire when a fire is circling the truck? You know, like it's not important, but it's just little details that took me out of it.
Yeah, and just them burning him with a shotgun, which is whatever. But it's just he's kind of a pussy now. I really liked his character at the beginning, but now I'm kind of over him. I'm kind
Well,
of ready for him to get
yeah,
killed.
but at the same time, he's got 3 shotguns in his face. What is he going to do?
No, I understand that, but I mean, just from like last episode, it seems like he seemed like he had a little something to him, and now he just seems like a lapdog.
Yeah, yeah, I get you there.
Yeah. And then we go into that scene where we're back at that diner. It's just, it feels so ham fisted. Dr. Senator is saying to the Italian guy, oh, you didn't know? Oh,
Yeah,
you didn't? That's like, oh, come on. It's like,
it's just to make the Italians look stupid and the blacks to look, like they're in the game. They know what's up.
yeah. And also, we're seeing everybody catch up because we already know this information. It's just a significantly worse version of the previous scene that we had last episode where he said, our word is as good as yours. It's weird because it felt like nobody really had anything to do in the episode, but yet things are happening, and it's just like, this is a bad episode to me.
Yeah. It also was dumb that at first I thought when he brought up the armed robbery, I thought he was just using it as leverage. Like, how would the Italians, would they ever hire a black girl and an Indian to do their dirty work for them?
Right. Yeah. Unless it was some outside work thing.
But the next scene, Dr. Senator asks Chris Rock, you think them Italians hired them broads to do this job to us?
Right. I was kind of confused going back to the scene where they were in the fire. Like, why not just kill Gaetano there? With the guy with the glass. It's like, why not just fucking kill him?
Gaetano wasn't there.
I mean, the right hand man.
It's Calamita, something like that.
The guy who got burned in the face is what I'm saying. Who tried to kill his son. Like, why not just kill him there? Like, I was just like,
Yeah, I don't know
because
either.
they killed the other guy. You know what I mean? They kill the other guy. They push him into the fire. He just burns alive. So it's like, I don't know.
Send a message.
I guess. I mean, the message would have already been sent if all their guns were gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
300 guns. So that was frustrating. Also, we have just more cringe-inducing sex stuff with the nurse and Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, he likes being choked.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? She's even like, there's some song or something in the background, or she's singing. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
It's just like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why?
There was several scenes where I was like, this really wasn't needed, or this is really going on too long. Number one, we have, I finally know her name, Ethel Rita, in the trophy closet. That goes on for way too long. The Chris Rock and the rabbi scene seemed pointless, at least for now.
Yeah, that was another kind of weird scene where Chris Rock is trying to be intimidating and really failing.
Give me back my son. I can't do that. You give him back to me, I'll give you $5,000. Yeah, I can't do that. No, that was a waste of 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was another just pointless scene to me that should have been completely cut out. It's very disappointing. And I mean, there was one funny line in the show, which Jason Schwartzman said, "You got any more of that fluffy whiz bang?"
Yeah, just the name of drugs is really confusing me in this episode. Is chicken powder cocaine? What the fuck is white fizzy whatever?
Fluffy whiz bang. It's yeah, I haven't tried to look up some of these old terms, but maybe they are some old terms for coke.
There was a couple lines that I liked right after the Italian guy, Calamita, whatever his name is, gets out of the truck in the beginning. He says in Italian, I swear to Christ on the cross, there is nowhere you can run that I won't find you. Which got me excited. Okay, maybe they're going to start exchanging bullets by the end of this episode, but no.
That was interesting when he's speaking in Italian, threatening him, and he's like, "What are you saying?" But at that point, I was just like, "Oh well." I figured that he's just gonna blow his fucking head off with the shotgun, and that would be the subversion of the scene. It's like, "Oh yeah, there's nowhere you can go. I can find you." Wait, what did you say? And then the shotgun just goes off.
That would have been nice. That would have been cool. Maybe if they picked a different one of the Italians, that would have happened. But I feel like they're really trying to prop up this guy, Calamita, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I honestly think he's gonna die like a pussy for some reason, because he's so built up as this tough dude and everything like that. I think he's gonna go out like a bitch.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Another line I liked was Jason Schwartzman talking to the nurse about his problems. Your mind's just a clutter of grievances, ain't it? Also, when the father comes home and, is celebrating, it's 5 o'clock in the Smutney house.
Cyclops. Yeah, I don't know. This was one of those episodes where just the lines really didn't work for me for the most part. Honestly, this really was a massive disappointment. This episode, I was really bummed out after this episode was over. I don't know.
I wasn't really bummed out, but I definitely was like, okay, now shit really has to start happening the next episode, or else you're going to lose like half the audience.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's just like after the last episode, I was like, oh, shit's got to go down. And it was just like, okay, all right, what are we doing? What's happening? It's now that everybody's on the same page, basically. There shouldn't be any more setup episodes, hopefully.
It should not be, no.
I mean, the only thing that I guess they have to show in the next episode is, which was obvious, was the nurse is going to find the black girl's little notebook that she left.
Yeah, that was really dumb. She's supposed to be like this really sharp girl. She's just going to go home and completely forget she left her notebook there.
Yeah, I guess she was so thrown off with seeing the giant closet filled with the murder
souvenirs, trophies, and all her poisons and stuff. Next episode it could lead to she has to try and sneak into her house to get it back. That could happen.
Yeah, they could do that. That could be interesting. I mean, we've seen a lot of that before and stuff, but I think you're definitely right. We're definitely headed towards the nurse and the black girl coming head to head.
I don't think they're going to kill her before the season finale. She's basically the linchpin for this entire series.
Yeah, and honestly, I'll say I'm completely over her, and I just want her character to die.
Spend more time
I'm
with the
sick of her.
Italian mobsters, the black gangsters, and the nurse.
No, I'm saying I'm over the nurse. I'm sick of her.
Yeah.
I want her character done. I'm just so over it. After this episode, I'm just like, I don't care about you. I just want you to die.
She's the outsider to this whole situation. I would like them to get back to her working as a nurse and killing her patients.
Yeah, but I know, but what purpose does that serve? Like, how does that help the story?
She's gonna, aside from killing the black girl, she may pull some sort of flim flam with Jason Schwartzman after she discovers, okay, this dude really isn't into me. He's just using me for my pussy and my drugs.
My pussy, my drugs.
That's the name of my second album.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in the next episode? Where do you think we go from here?
It's tough. I mean, obviously, I think we're going to get more stuff with the nurse and the black girl with the notebook. I mean, I brought up the brothers, but because I mean, we're seeing once again more conflict with the brothers. Jason Schwartzman just walks in and starts shooting and could have killed his brother immediately.
That's another thing about this episode. It's you spent an entire episode for that arc only to be like, okay, now Schwartzman discovered that his brother is conniving behind his back.
And it's like, even though I didn't want him to kill his brother in that scene, it would have been more ballsy if he just fucking killed him and then was like, oh yeah, you think I'm weak? You think I'm this kind of pushover? No, I am the fucking boss. Just wasted his brother. But
based on how the scene was going, he had to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's another big case of blue balls. Like,
yeah,
you just shoot around him a couple times and that's going to deter him.
Right. And then the whole time, his brother's just walking towards him with a knife. Like he's not even really fazed by it.
One thing I do love about the brother Gaetano, his eyes are always as wide open as possible. It's just a small detail that really, really sells his character. It sells his intensity.
Yeah, as we've said before, he's really doing a good Joe Polito. He's doing the very wide-eyed Joe Polito, which I like.
I'd say for next episode, one of the brothers is dead. It's maybe me just hoping that, but
yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to get the Chris Rock confrontation with the mortuary family. That's guaranteed. And we might see something with Timothy Oliphant and the bank robber girls, but I don't know.
I think they're saving that again for the finale.
I mean, shit. I mean, you really going to push all that into the finale?
Well, let's look at it this way. The robber girls are going to do a couple more robberies. Maybe the Indian gets killed. Maybe they have another close call.
Yeah.
That's how I see this going. Finale, black girl's dead. The nurse moves to another town to kill more. The Bonnie and Clyde characters are dead. I think Chris Rock ends up dead, and so do the head Italians. I think it turns out like Rabbi makes his power play. Rabbi takes over.
So basically just like everybody kills everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it would be in line with a manifestation of the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, that theme bringing up that kind of, there's just this doom over kind of this whole town of Missouri. Yeah, it could be right.
All right, I guess that'll conclude this week's episode, The Pretend War. Hopefully we get to see some goddamn fireworks in the next one.
Absolutely.